it would be remiss of me to not ask you about SEO. You spend a lot of time in that world, and I'm curious about your take on the SEO landscape these days. We've seen Google declare that essentially content should be written for humans, not robots. And a lot of marketers are still leaning hard into SEO to power organic search. Any thoughts about the changing role or importance or reliance on SEO for marketers these days?
This could be just my perspective. I mean, I have not been active in SEO for like 5 years, right? So, take what I say with a grain of salt. I would no longer consider myself an SEO expert. And certainly I'm not a practitioner either. However, Google has been saying those things since 2002. If that's what's new to you, I'm worried that you're 20 years behind. I'm deeply nervous. I've seen a lot of the hemming and hawing and nervousness about AI generated content and, oh, well, it scales so nicely. Is it going to do well in Google or is it not going to do well? What about scraped content that's been repurposed? And sometimes that does seem to do well and sometimes it doesn't. And I think broadly, my sense is that if SEO is a great channel for you, keep investing in it, stay up to date with people who are not me. I'm not your guy. But I think three things are going on with it, right? Like even when I left the field, it was getting incredibly competitive. In
Mhm.
2005, very few people were doing SEO, even fewer were doing it well. By 2015, a lot of people were doing SEO, some of them were doing it well. In 2022, almost everyone's doing it SEO, and a good percent are doing it really well. So you better be literally some of the best in the world if you're going to try and compete, because nobody clicks outside of those first 4 or 5 positions. The second thing that's happening is Google is taking more and more of the share of clicks for themselves. So more going to Google's own properties than ever before, more going to answers than ever before, more searches that are resulting in no clicks, and certainly no clicks to the open web, and even more clicks than ever going to a few leaders in every field, right? So if you take out the top 100 websites on the internet, the share of clicks that's left for everyone else is shrinking, dramatically shrinking. I'm nervous about SEO as a long-term channel. I think it's just incredibly competitive, more and more difficult, and also a shrinking opportunity because there's not another 7 billion searchers worldwide who are going to search 30 times every day. That's, I think that's also a fundamental issue for their growth and for anybody who's investing in SEO. So if you're looking for other channels, that's where I think a lot of these opportunities that we try and surface that I care about these days are present. Marketing through other sources of influence, going and finding that email newsletter that reaches exactly the target audience you want to reach, going and finding those YouTube channels, finding those podcasts, finding those social accounts, finding those niche websites, finding the conferences and events. I think there's a lot of opportunity in those places. And very few marketers invest in them. It doesn't even really have a name. Marketing through sources of influence, there's no job title for that, right? It's not like SEO or PPC or email marketing or content marketing. It's kind of absent. And because of that, there's a lot of opportunity.